So after seeing that Borderlands 4 was released and how it ran on modern hardware, I thought to myself, I would actually like to finally try to play these Borderlands games, because I've never actually played them myself, and I thought to myself, why not play through one of them? I am not feeling the price of Borderlands 4 right now. It's ridiculous for the way that it runs at the moment. So I actually decided to go with Borderlands 2, not because of any moral standpoints or what I read on the internet, but I somehow already own it on Steam, and I've played it before. I just don't remember, I don't recollect ever buying this game, and I don't know how it came to be in my library, but you know what, it's here, it's free, so I don't have to buy anything else to play this game. So for starters, I am going into this game completely blind. I'm trying to not Google anything and trying to find out things on my own throughout this whole playthrough here. I know there's something about a talking robot. It is an RPG, semi-open world, as I can tell for when I read it on the Steam page. But other than that, I don't really know that much about the game at this point. So first of all, we start off in a world called Pandora, like in Pandora's box or whatever. It must be something poetic. I'll probably gonna figure out why it's called that later on when I play this game. That's usually how that works. So we are essentially what is called a vault hunter, being hunted by this guy called Handsome Jack. This guy really does not like us. Somehow he's actually trying to kill us right from the get-go of the game here. So for people who doesn't know or just joining me for this adventure as well, vault hunters are adventurers who come to this planet to find the vault, I guess. I'll probably figure out what that is later on in the game. But that's everything I got so far. I don't want to Google too much, as I said before, so I'm sorry about the details being very scarce at the moment. So first of all, we choose our class. After the train here gets blown to literal bits, I guess, and we choose a class and we get introduced to this world by this robot that I actually talked about here before. So I was right about that one. And he's called Claptrap. What a weird little fucking robot. So after all the intro and all the intro quests and whatnot we had to get through, we finally get into the main part of the game where we have figured out the controls and done all the tutorials. We do pick up some starter quests from this guy called Sir Hamlock, which we'll meet later on in the game, I think. When in return, we reap the rewards, get some new gear, get some new shit, we get some new levels. So after we pick up a new quest, and I quote, "Would you like to do battle with a midget riding piggyback on a Bullymog?" What in the world is that supposed to mean? And that was the thought I had when I played, and the only thing I could think about was I hope I'd found out soon what in the world that means. So after cruising through the cold and unforgiving countryside of Borderlands 2, we arrive at some kind of a stronghold, and our objective is actually pretty simple. We have to find this Bullymog riding midget. Of course we have to. I guess this is Borderlands. It was harder than it actually sounded. So I ran around for I think about 20 or 30 minutes just killing enemies. I almost died a few times, if I'm being honest, because I was not that careful. But after a while, I run into this guy who is indeed riding a Bullymog, and I finally found him. After 20 fucking minutes, I found him. After this fight, I also had to figure out where this Midgemong was at, because in my mind it was the same creature, but it was not. It was two different bosses in the same place, I guess. He did not spawn anywhere specific, or I haven't Googled it, so I couldn't figure out where he spawned, so just ran around. I did kill a lot of those marauders that was at the stronghold base before he actually decided to just calmly walk down a staircase. Like, just calmly walk down a flight of stairs in front of me, and I killed him with a few shots, and we finished the quest. So after all of that madness, I had to go back to the sanctuary, and I had to meet up with what was left of the resistance, actually. On my way there, I was introduced to this amazing system. I didn't even know they had more systems that they could introduce me to. This car system, which, to be honest, is actually quite good and very thought out, because you could redeploy, you could teleport to a vehicle, you can customize it like camo wise, you can build your vehicle up from the ground up, I think. But yeah, after some driving around, we finally got to the sanctuary. We could now finally get into the actual lore of what this place was, who is Handsome Jack, and I had all of these questions. And also one of the things I had on my mind was how we're gonna able to be fighting back against this guy, because he has that thing in the sky. Like, what the fuck is that? I do have to take a quick moment to tell you guys about Claptrap. The little rolling robot gives me the biggest fucking laughs I have ever encountered in a video game in, I think, the last 2 years of my life right now. This bag of comedy is so pure and awesome. So yeah, I just had to get that out of the way real quickly because this guy, the guy that played Claptrap and the guy that wrote Claptrap, fucking awesome job though. After getting the introduction of this whole flying city, not flying city thing and how the resistance actually works, we were tasked with finding a guy called Roland. Roland, he is of course in trouble and we have to go find him. So after figuring out that Roland is missing, we are tasked with going to a place called Frostburn Canyon. Here we have to follow 7 body signs, like signs with literal bodies taped to them, until we find a companion called Lilith. And I just have to hold on for a second because the girl is named after, I think, a biblical devil. She must be really good for the resistance if she has to have that name. After defeating all of Lilith's small playmates, we are teleported into something called Bloodshot Stronghold by her, because this is where they are actually keeping Roland. So we are getting somewhere. So after getting rejected at the Bloodshot Stronghold, I made up with this woman named Ellie. By rejected, I mean we honked our horn at the front gate and we didn't look raidery, banditery enough. Our vehicle didn't look scrapped out enough with enough blood or gore or intestines on the vehicle, and they just flat out rejected us. So I had to go to this person named Ellie, and she told me to gather 5 vehicle parts from bandits, come back to her, and she would fix up a car for us so we could get through. So I collect these parts, I swing right back to Ellie and deliver them like the sweet little murderous boy I am, because we did just kill like 40 people just to get these parts. That's a bit serial killer like, but it's fine. We can't really keep hold of that. So before I could get inside the stronghold, I had to face off against a guy called Bad Moore, and I kid you not, his merry midgets. That's the funniest thing ever. These bosses have funniest names, man. So I did die once, but after some luck, I actually figured out that I could just use the barrels around the stronghold to basically take down his health, and I just kept running around and doing barrels till he died. Perfect strat if you ask me. The job was done after that. So finally we were actually introduced to Roland, and he just took down 2 robots with his fucking bare hands, and then he stole the rifle off the other one, just shot him in the head. So yeah, Roland is a badass straight out the gate. I actually saved Roland, but immediately, true gaming style, he was abducted by a robot with massive shields and taken away. I don't know where that came from, but you know, we can't just save a guy once, we have to do it twice in a row, I guess. After ramming my way through Bloodshot Stronghold, I finally got to this boss fight, and in the beginning I did actually not have the patience to do this, so I actually died twice already within the span of like 5 minutes. So I actually had to go back to the drawing board. I did a few side quests so that I could get some better gear and some more skill points. So yeah, so after finishing a few of these quests and getting some better gear, including some sniper rifles and a new assault rifle, I found out about tokens. I should really start to Google shit. So for short, you can use tokens to boost stats permanently and therefore get a better character overall. And I had a total of 32 tokens when I figured this out, so that was pretty awesome, and I could boost a lot of my stats a lot. So I finally killed the big flying robot thing that was keeping Roland prisoner, and I almost died as well, and I almost ran out of ammo. But after the shield bar was taken care of, it was actually pretty straightforward. I basically just jumped in there, killed the damn thing, and rescued Roland. Yeah, so basically that was it. So the reason Jack wants to open this vault is actually not something like a weapon or to gain massive wealth right out the gate. It's actually to awaken some kind of ancient warrior, I guess, which he only the person that actually opened up the vault is able to control. And he wants to use this ancient warrior to take over Pandora, basically enslave all of Pandora and just make it one big profit center for Handsome Jack and the Hyperion Corporation. So we get sent off to find this person by Roland and Lilith, who this person needs to be awakened by a fire weapon for some reason, I guess. And this game just keeps on getting weirder, man. I don't know what to do at this point. It just keeps on getting weirder. Now we wake up Roland's buddy, I guess. Somehow this game needs everyone to have a companion. The funny thing about this is this guy is also a major alcoholic. In this cutscene behind me, he like flicks open something like snaps a vodka beer, a water bottle, I don't know. It seems like some hard liquor and just chucks it. Some kid is part of this as well, a kid called Tiny Tina.
All around the stack, this plant, the stalker chased a bandit. The stalker thought 'twas all in fun. Pop! Goes the bandit.
Let's just sum up the team so far. A girl with the name of a devil, that's Lilith. Have an old man, that's Roland. An alcoholic, and now Kid. What's next? My guess, a drug addict who's also a priest. That could have been fucking awesome. Now we blow up the train and are headed into another snowy, sunny part of Borderlands, I guess. With Tiny Tina and Roland just yapping away in our earpiece here. Just basically commanding us around the scene. So I guess we gotta see where this place takes us. So another boss fight later, which again, I was not expecting. This time we had to kill some guy called Wilhelm, which he was working for the Hyperion Corporation, I guess, and he had a lot of friends just coming down from this guy to kill me. I died a lot in this boss fight, and I actually got killed so much that the enemies were bored. They actually came and spawn camped me. I got spawn killed by NPCs in a single player mission. Just remember that. That's how much this game does not fuck around. It's shit, it was weird getting spawn killed by NPCs. After just jumping around the place for a few minutes and just spamming my Jacobson pistol, I actually managed to kill Wilhelm, and I don't know if I was lucky or it was a good strategy, but I will let you guys be the judge of that, I guess. Suddenly there's a big fucking turnaround in the story, and I'm just gonna have to absorb this. Angel, the AI that has been working with us since the start of this game, actually, is a fucking double agent for Jack. Like, what the hell? This was the only comfort I had in this game, and Borderlands just fucking took it away. Gearbox and 2K, fuck you guys. For reals. So suddenly the city disappears after Lilith says siren, or more like yells siren. I hope I will figure out what that means later on in the game, because right now I am very confused, to be honest, as to what just happened here between this dialogue between Jack and Lilith. But I guess plan B went according to plan. The other guys are celebrating they got away. We did not, for some reason. So the city finally appeared with some, of course, dramatic purple effects in the distance, and we can now progress further into the game. So I guess we just want to fast travel over there. Oh wait, no, of course there's a problem here. We are not a part of the fast travel network anymore, and we now have to go do that with the AI that was double agencies giving us advice, I guess, trying to save us. So I figured out after fighting one of those big robots that took a Roland prisoner in the beginning of this game that I might have missed out on a core mechanic of the game here, because there are 3 different things so far that I figured out. There's shock, there's corrosion, and there's fire, and I have no clue what this actually does to specific enemy types. I figured out that fire is good against flesh, but shock and corrosion, I have not figured out what they do at the moment. So I hope it's something that I've missed and it's just a core game mechanic that I just don't know what is, but I guess we're gonna have to figure that out. So after killing a lot of Hyperion robots and one flying monster robot as well, and plenty of these suicidal mechs, I guess, we finally established a fast travel link back to Sanctuary, which was very hard. This game stressed me the fuck out. This mission stressed me the fuck out. I've not been stressed out about a video game for so long, and when I was actually done with this part of the game, it actually felt kind of amazing, to be honest. And I have not felt that about a game for a long time, to be honest. So we talked to Roland and Lilith, and apparently the AI is the key to all this, and to get her we have to go through 3 things, which is first some kind of force field that kills all non-Hyperion workers. Next up, there's a bunker with the most high-tech weapons that a man can afford, I guess. And the last one is a door, but that door only lets in Hyperion Jack. So it's gonna be hard, but I hope Roland and Lilith got this, because we're just gonna go in one-man army style. So after going through this place that Roland sent us to get this upgrade for Claptrap, we ended up dying a lot of times, and it did not go so well as I thought it would. So after dying a few times, I figured out that I was actually severely underleveled for this part of the map. So next up is spending a few hours leveling up to, I think, 20 or 21 to do this, and before we take another crack at this place. So because right now I basically died from 1 or 2 shots from these mechanical droids. So while I was grinding XP and gear so that I could, not die all the fucking time, I went to Ellie, the girl that we talked about earlier. She introduced to this whole car system thing. I decided to do the quest line. In that quest line, I was actually meddling in some gang type shit. I was playing a double agent between these 2 different gang families and their gang leaders. I then, in the end, when I was done doing all of this, had to choose which family to kill and which family to help. This quest line was good. It gave a lot of backstory to some of the already established characters that I've met so far, and it made it a bit more interactive and believable. So yeah, props to Borderlands for doing these type of things. So after going through the beautiful reserve that Handsome Jack has built for these very unfortunate creatures to live in, he's not doing this out of the goodness of his own heart. He's, I think, just doing this for research and evil experiments, but you know what, I could be wrong about him. But we do get greeted by this very cool robot at the front desk when we finally arrive at our final destination for this quest. Unfortunately, things that did go wrong went wrong in this quest line, and we now have to fight Mordecai's beloved bird. This can only go one way, and that's down the drain. Unfortunately, I was right, but we did come up with a plan. I weakened it, and Mordecai could make it go to sleep with a tranquilizer dart. But unfortunately, Handsome Jack had one last trick up his sleeve, and that was to blow its fucking head off with an explosive collar. After all this happened, Mordecai did get fired up to want to really kill Jack with burning passion in his heart. We did get the upgrade for the little robot, and we turned that into Claptrap, and it turns out was actually an upgrade that could turn him invisible, and I think that's fucking awesome if you ask me. To get on with the agenda, we had to go back to Roland and Lilith to turn in the quest and see what happens next. Roland did tell us that he had a way inside the bunker, so I think this quest right now is getting a little bit exciting. Figured out we had to deliver some kind of note to this guy that apparently rips people's limbs off for information. For context, he was once a part of the rebellion and one of Roland's closer friends, but Roland did not exactly agree with his way of interrogation, so he was let go, I guess. So after killing and maiming a lot of people and mechanical droids, we could finally set a face on Roland's friend. He is actually somewhat down to earth, but this seems weird compared to the introduction that Roland gave of him in the beginning.
So what you want?
But whatever, it will probably change in a minute when he does something crazy, I guess. So, second puzzle cracked. With this new addition to the squad, we can almost assemble a small army against Handsome Jack. And this is getting interesting. So, after helping Brick, aka the Slap King, with taking out the mortar beacon so his base will not be obliterated by Handsome Jack, we get our ass quickly back to Sanctuary and return to Roland to figure out the last piece of the puzzle. So, apparently Handsome Jack has buddy doubles. You know, like clones of himself, and Angel just sent us to kill one of them so that we can pass the third trial, which of course is a bioscan and a voice line confirmation in Jack's own voice. So yeah, the plan I think right now is getting very complicated and getting more complicated by the minute. So we finally arrive at Opportunity, which is I guess some kind of city, and it seems like Jack uses this place to, I guess, stroke his ginormous ego, just like I stroke my... Sorry, this place should be family friendly, almost. I guess let's just move on. Doing this quest, I died 3 different times. I guess I am severely underleveled because these deaths came pretty instant with a few shots from these guys. So after some mishap in my gameplay and many more mechs destroyed by me, I finally killed the clone. I got his voice module. We then recorded Jack's voice from 4 different info stands, and off we are, hopefully to a better place than this city of a fucking measuring contest. Angel is gone. Jack made sure of that. He took her away from us.
You seriously thought you could hide from me, Angel? Is that what you thought? Say goodbye to your friend, Angel. Say it.
See you soon.
So now we need to return to Roland and get the gang out to get ourselves a vault key. So I'm noticing that I'm close to the end. So I'm just going to spend some time here to talk about my experience so far with this game in this series. To be honest, when I first started this game, I thought it was going to be shit, honestly. But the more I played, the more hours I put into this game and into editing this very video that you guys are watching right now, I fell in love with the characters, I fell in love with the lore, I fell in love with the Borderlands world. And to be honest, I accidentally bought Borderlands Enhanced Edition and the pre-sequel. And I also installed Borderlands 3 on my PlayStation 5 because that is what I'm actually going to be playing for the next couple of months. I want to finish these games because this game, Borderlands 2, it's amazing. It has made me buy many of the games in this series, and it's actually made me want to play them back to back. For me, that is very rare. I don't usually have the patience to play one singular video game series back to back, but this game made me want to do that. But yeah, enough of the sentimental crap. Let's get back to me killing things like a fucking madman. So now we have to do a lot of the things before we can advance, and I will get back to you when I've finished the list that Roland has handed us here. So first up, we had to convince the weird little robot, aka Claptrap, to go with us. Spoiler alert, it was not that hard. It was actually very easy. Then we had to travel to 1000 Cuts, and then we had to meet up with Claptrap there, and Claptrap deactivated the barrier so we could actually get to the bunker. So while fighting this giant flying robot thingy, I actually realized something. I am so under-leveled here. My guns are like bringing a knife to a gunfight at this point. In the next Borderlands game I play, I remember to do more side quests because this shit is insane. It's so hard. I am so under-leveled, I do so little damage, and he can just take me out like this. The damage, as I was talking about, is insane. It took out my shield and like 80% of my health in like 2 seconds, and on top of that, destroyed my turret. So yeah, I have to be very careful. So I finally killed it, and damn, this submachine gun that I have in my inventory came in handy. For the next Borderlands game I play, I should maybe not do it blind. I feel this is a great learning experience, but goddamn, I came here unprepared. So of course this was not gonna be easy, because of course the bunker is not a place. It's a fucking flying robot ass motherfucker. I am stressed out at this point. This shit is hard as hell, man. What the fuck have I got myself into? That's what I'm thinking right now. Guys, and a few misses, we finally took it out. I did this by actually not going on top of the platform, but actually hiding underneath the platform, and I did that like a fucking rat. I took it out from underneath. So this strat actually worked. I did not come into a lot of minions that Jack sent down from Hyperion, you know, the spaceship, on top of the top platform, because I was hiding underneath, and they didn't actually spawn down there or came down there during this fight. So I didn't actually get into any real danger. I could just take this giant flying bunker out from below. I could then also go back to the vending machine and buy more ammo when I eventually ran out. So it was pretty brilliant if you ask me. Now we have finally destroyed the bunker. Next up is using the voice modulator that we had created early on. At this point, we just became a fucking murder for hire. Since when? Like, nobody told me. Roland is like, go kill this, go kill that. Same with Lilith and Mordecai. Now we have to kill Angel, and she was a siren all along. Like, what the fuck is happening? This game just twisted everything around. Wait, daughter? Wait, what? I'm so confused. This is dark. This is so dark. So Angel is actually Jax's daughter, and Jack has hidden her in his fucking basement. What the fuck is this? So we took out the first iridium injector. We have taken down the second one. So there's one more left. This is getting better and better. At this point, I am liking the stress and difficulty of the game, actually. It's getting to me, to be honest. So after taking down the last iridium injector, we have achieved the vault key, but at the cost of Angel. Just to touch on that quickly before we move along, I feel like some of the game's life is actually gone. She has followed us throughout the whole game. She has given us advice and was that little voice in the sky. I'll definitely miss Angel for the rest of this game, and I hope she makes a return in some of the other games though. That could be cool. Totally just out of left field, Roland gets fucking killed. Lilith was taken prisoner, and Jack has made his first in-face appearance. What the fuck is going on? This game is insane, but this makes sense, because before we made the assault on the bunker, Angel told us to not bring Lilith. She could not tell us why, but now it's actually quite obvious. She saw this coming. She saw it coming that Jack would take a Lilith prisoner if she was killed. This is storytelling. This is 10 out of 10, man. Holy shit. So now Mordecai is tasking us with finding out where this ancient warrior is buried. I guess instead of trying to figure out where Jack is hiding instead. So, and together with Mordecai, we will find Lilith so that Jack does not actually use her and kill her. Jesus Christ, this guy's fucking crazy. Just listen to this.
Murdered by the Vault Hunter. So I've decided I'm rescinding the bounty on the Vault Hunter. If you should kill that child-murdering son of a bitch before I do, I will find you, and you will regret denying me my vengeance.
So after getting into this new place, I was facing off against this big yellow Hyperion robot, and I was not prepared for this fight at all. Not at all. So going in blind into video games is actually kind of awesome sometimes. It's almost like a theme, you know, me not being prepared for anything and not knowing anything. It's quite fun actually, but at this point of the video, it is a theme of me just being basically unprepared. So I actually figured out that I could hide in this shed behind this house and just deploy my turret, and there I could just shoot it in the foot, throw grenades, and you know whatnot. So after a couple of minutes, it was over. So again, with the right rat strat, as I like to call it, I can basically, or you can basically do anything. So after fighting one big robot, I of course had to fight another, and this time it was my arch nemesis, the big flying robot that squirts missiles out of its fucking ass. Yeah, fuck me, right? So after dying a few times by getting too close to it, I just decided to stand back at the spawn point and just do crit damage with my sniper from afar. No real risk, and I took it out in less like 5 minutes. I feel like I'm actually cheating the system right now, but it's working, so why not just do it? So now we're downloading the warrior location data, and we're hopefully figuring out where it's going to be. We're getting to the end here, I can feel that. So after advancing to level 29, we can finally head on back to Sanctuary actually and meet up with Mordecai, and as he just said, do the final assault. So this is crazy, we're getting ready to take on the last quest of this game. It has been a ride. So finally, the last assault. What a fucking journey. Now I'm just going around talking to a few people that we met throughout the game. They're giving us a few gifts and buying new gear. I'm selling the old stuff that I have in my backpack so we can have the best gear and stuff for the journey ahead. 2 objectives. 1 is for meeting up with Claptrap, and right under that, as you can see, it just says end this. Like, yeah, this is not what I've been doing for the past, I don't know, like 30 hours. So after leaving Claptrap behind because of some stairs, apparently that's his greatest enemy, I guess. And getting into the Hero's Pass, I finally get some help from Mordecai and Brick, you know, the Slap King. They arrive in an airship, ready to take on Jack with us, rescue Lilith, and save Pandora from inevitable doom, I guess. So Brick and I fought our way through a horde of mechs to get through to the next Hyperion barrier. I think I died like twice in like 2 minutes. I gotta be more careful with this because I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run out of money before I get to the end here. They take like $3,000 out of your paycheck every time you die. It's fucking crazy, man. And of course, at the end, there is, again, my arch nemesis, the flying robot that spits missiles out of its fucking ass. And I am again having a hard time taking it down. Fucking nice. At this point, I don't know if I can laugh or cry at it, but I hope when I'm editing this video I can laugh at it, because I was definitely crying when I figured out that I had to take out this one again. Oh god, is this it? Have we finally found Jack? I hope I get to kill him. That's... like, I've played 30 hours of the game, so at least I hope I get to kill him in the end. That would be awesome. So, there's a fast traveling point opening up. I thought about going back, getting the last XP and gear and, you know, do stuff like that. Nah, fuck it. Let's do this.
Hey, you're right on time. Key's nearly ready. But before I cleanse this planet for good, I'm gonna avenge my daughter.
So, we defeated Jack? But no, we did not, because of course he has a combat thing before he dies. He has to bring out the fucking warrior.
Not dying yet. You're too late, bandit! I win! The greatest alien power Pandora has ever seen. And it's mine to control!
So, finally dead. Best strategy ever. I just basically exploited the game mechanics and the NPCs because somehow he only targeted me when he had his fire breath. I don't know what else to call it. And I could just crouch behind the stone wall and then just take it out from afar. You know, easy peasy. So after finishing the game, I've spent the last 30 hours playing it, and it has been a very nice journey. I went into this not really trying to make this big of a video. Actually, I think it's like 40 minutes at this point. The game has an amazing storytelling, amazing art style. I love the art style, you know, the more cartoonish art style than some of the other games, with the outlines around the characters and the mobs and the trees, for example. They have the outlines as well. I think it's a great art style. It gives the game a bit more sense of self, if you get my meaning there. Also, the characters are very memorable. Usually when I finish a game, I might have remembered like half of the story and some of, you know, the major characters, but here I remember even some of the minor characters. Like, I met this psycho in 1000 Cuts that was actually just telling me to just shoot his head off. And Ellie, for example, in the main story you only meet her for like 30 minutes briefly, but I actually went back and I did a few quests with her about some gang wars. I talked about that earlier, and there was these two families that I can actually, like a few days after, still remember quite fondly of. And I think that's what this game does great. It can tell a story, and the storytelling in general from this game is amazing. And at this point I can't really wait to play more games. I'm thinking about jumping right into the first Borderlands game and then playing the pre-sequel afterwards. Maybe record it, I don't know. So yeah, that was Borderlands 2. This was my blind playthrough of it. I've condensed it all down to one video. This is a new thing, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, remember to subscribe and ring that bell, because I'll definitely be making more of these. This was so much fun. So yeah, subscribe, like, and comment, and I'll see you guys at another time. Peace.